Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's time for Package from China because in this video we are going to take a close look at the new improved RetroShooter Pandora's Box. Okay, and first layer number one, we're having the light guns that we need to assemble. And this is absolutely super easy to do. The only thing that we needed to do is just slapping on this attachment, actually this piece of equipment, and of course connecting the cable. That's the only thing that we're going to be needing to do. And this is not a clicking situation, so what you need to do is bring this thing together, get the screws that are implemented in the kit, and you're ready to go. I already took them out, and this is the first improvement. They are going from 2 sensors to 4, so it's going to be overall better when it comes to the accuracy of the light guns, or the light guns RetroShooter Pandora's Box guns itself. Layer number 2, we're finding the power supply, and yep, I'm going to be needing an adapter. They didn't include it, but not a big of a deal. This is a 12 volt 5 amp, and I got to tell you, the weight itself gives this thing quite nice of a feel. Normally these things are like light weighted. All of the cables that we're going to be needing for hooking up the sensor on my monitor, and then in here we're finding the RetroShooter. This is the system itself. This is where all the magic happens. So you can just actually see RJ45, HDMI, the SD card with containing the files, and yep, then having the input for the power supply. At this side, let's remove this piece of cardboard. Here we can find all of the connections they are going to be needing for the light guns, and of course the USB connections. So this thing is just like an all-in-one kit. You can just put it on your television or in your case or where you want to put it, and you can just connect everything, and it's super easy to use. If you just want to use the light guns for your PC, you don't need this particular game system, and we can just get yourself the Firebase. And the Firebase is actually just a converter you can plug in, and at the back we're finding the power supply for the light guns, and we're just going to be plugging it in here, or at least all of the connections of the light guns itself. And this is more like a converter, so take into consideration is that if you want to have it on PC configured, you need the Firebase. The RetroShooter Pandora's Box is one of the best budget devices or plug-and-play solution as making this video. It's highly possible in the future there will become all kinds of different clones or maybe different solutions, but for now this is just such an easy plug-and-play kit, where some of the brands are absolutely better maybe in some ways when it comes to maybe the build quality, the size of the light gun, the different solenoid, you name it. But most of them will have a high price tag, or you just need to mess around with a lot of settings with the PC. And this is just one of those plug and play solutions, and maybe one of the best and budget devices you can get. So one of the cool features that we do have a feedback in the system itself, but this is not your typical feedback. This is a mechanical solenoid, a completely different situation, and actually one of the unique designs for the RetroShooter. Some will hate it and some will love it. I think it's just great to have some kind of feedback, and it is quite strong. But there's also a very fun, very nice features that when you're going to be holding the joystick for a couple of seconds, it will switch to the rapid fire. You know, and that's kind of cool that we can switch between these modes and having the option to play all kinds of different games. And the reason why, because with previous models I've reviewed, and then not the Gun 4R but other ones, but the major problem is that we do have the problem with some games that needs rapid fire. Think about the old school Terminator games. You couldn't use it because the gun doesn't support it at that moment. And this is one of those cool features. They've been thinking about everything so far, I know. But how about the sensor itself? You can just see that they put arrows on there, so I'm guessing you need to put it on the position. So I'm going to be doing putting on the left and the right top corner and the left and bottom part. So you can do different configurations. For example, they also give you the nice cut down size of double-sided tape. So if you want to put it on there and want to remove it later on, or you have a cabinet, you can just screw it on with the bracket that they're going to be giving you. So they're giving you some options, and I say this looks kind of nice. Let's see if it's going to be clicking in. Okay. But the idea is that you can just slide it in and out. So that's absolutely cool. But okay, everything has been set up when it comes to plugging everything into the device itself. So the only downside is that when you're plugging in the 12 volt, it will automatically boot up. So we need to have a switch between that. I think I didn't see it in my, let's say, box itself. No. Finally booted up, we're having the force sensor in place. This is exactly the position I've took them. And they also shown on the picture where you're going to be plugging it in. But what's kind of cool, if you're going to be plugging in the light guns itself, it will automatically go to the, let's say, Corsair calibration. So when actually booting up for the first time, like I mentioned before, is that we're going to be needing configuring everything. They're going to be showcasing you how you need to set up the sensor, so make sure that is right. Select, and then we can calibrate the light gun itself. You can see it's going to be, it looks kind of weird. Yeah, there we go. So it's already been configured. So what you can do is pressing the B button, or you're just going to be going into the calibration. And when everything is done, it's ready to go. And now the calibration has been done. Everything seems to be working just fine. And we can do it also with the second light gun. So in my case, we don't have any controllers connected now because we're going to be using the RetroShooter itself. You can just see you can navigate through the menu by using the analog stick. And that is just very convenient if you don't want to use the controls or the extra controllers. So another thing is, if you want to get into a certain menu, you're pressing this left button over here. We're having recent, all kinds of games. You want to get in the light gun, and there we have Action Max. All kinds of new things has been implemented on this, and all kinds of cool games. But let's get into it and let's have some retro fun, man. So let's get in this weird, very strange game. They did implement the filter. The princess is running and you need to shoot everybody. Oh, I messed up. Oh, there we go. Not going to be falling for that again. No! So one of the upgrades this new version has, that we have the aspect ratio going on with 4:3 and 6:9, also with light games. So that's absolutely great. With light gun games, we have this option now too. In the previous one, we didn't have this. Not a very big of a deal, but the minor improvements is absolutely great. So that weird game was called Shooting Master. It took a very long time, by the way, to actually load up. But however, let's try another couple of ones because I'm curious. Let's try Terminator. Yeah, Judgment Day, bitches. Yeah. Okay, so Terminator is one of those games that utilizes the rapid fire. I mean, if you're going to be holding this, you're going to get a rapid fire. And that's going to be epic. So, this is absolutely nuts. You can use the pedals for the rocket if you want to. But I'm guessing they also configured it to a different button over here. So with games like these, the pedal is just an extra. So when actually getting into the special menu, pushing the left two buttons for a couple of seconds, here we're having the option to turn off and on the Corsair. I didn't see it with every single game, and the light gun Corsair settings, so we can get into the, let's say, calibration if you have any problems whatsoever. And also the modes called favorite games on and off. So one of the games I really love to play is Time Crisis. This is not the main version, so what I understand of this thing can't run the main version. So you're stuck with the PlayStation 1. That is inferior, but it's still a lot of fun. So let's boot it up. So one of the things that we're going to be needing to do is that we're having the pedal. You don't really need it because they mapped it to the button, but if you want to have the full experience, you're just going to be getting yourself the pedal itself. Because you can put the Time Crisis, the pedal to the metal, or it's actually made out of plastic, but beside the point. Okay, here we go. Action. No Corsair, no cheating. Like you can see that the rapid fire is still enabled, so let's disable that. Oh man. Without the Corsair, it's going to be quite difficult. Oh yeah. But also, you can also use just the button itself. But the weird thing, it's also mapped to start. So that is an epic fail. Okay. Okay, that is a software glitch they should fix. Yeah, okay. So there's a little bit of a downside that they mapped the start button to that. So somehow you're going to be pressing it sometimes and going to be getting into the pause mode. Yeah, okay. But we do wonder, like, is this something to do with the pedal? Let's remove that. All right. So no, the pedal is not active anymore. No, still the same problem. Okay, that sucks. So the first thing I want to check out is how does the cursor on and off works. All right, so yep, that's much better. So let's put the cheating mode on. Also put it in the 4:3 aspect ratio. Absolutely one of those things that I implemented. I'm so happy they did. Oh man, this game is so much fun. Ah, nasty. Completely messed up. Maze of the Kings from the Dreamcast system. This is absolutely awesome. 2 guns. Let's see how it will work out. I do correctly configure all of them. Both of the play have been entered. That's absolutely cool. Hey. See, and that's the thing with the blue one. Everything seems to be working just fine. Let's go back to the blue one. But I did notice you need to get a certain distance from the monitor, otherwise it's going to be quite difficult for the device to recognize. A lot of fun when it comes to the light gun and the Maze of the Kings. A very cool game. Oh, I do have a love and hate relationship with these particular games. They were quite difficult. So let's get started. Or do I get started? We're going to get the bank robbery stage. That one is so funny. And this is just a moment of memorizing which character comes from where. Say, sucker! Okay. That was a really short stage. What? The RetroShooter Pandora's Box. It's absolutely a very cool product if you just want to search a low budget solution for a plug and play situation. We have all kinds of different, let's say, light gun stuff, but this thing is just a very cool idea. So where it's not maybe perfect in some ways, it's even also updatable when it comes to the online, let's say, features and the community. And that's absolutely cool. So when you're getting something that does have like a minor problem, you can always find yourself like getting maybe an update in the future. Besides that, the functionality and the way everything plays, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing and let me know what you think of the RetroShooter, and it would be great to see you in the next video.